What's going on, guys? This is Damien from The Lookout and welcome to Learn to Play Green Gohan, the ultimate guide for playing Green Gohan in Fusion World. If you're looking for something that's extremely in-depth, this is the video for you. But before we begin this video, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons. They buy us coffee, they keep this crazy content machine going, even while I'm not physically home and on my way to LA right now. Thanks, Coffee Club, so much for supporting us, guys. If you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to our Patreon is in the description below. And I think that's about everything. Roll the video! As with all of our videos, let's start with the breakdown. So I'm gonna give you a brief archetype breakdown. I'm gonna explain how the archetype works. We'll go super in-depth into lines of play, interaction. I will show you my deck list, and then I'm gonna show you how to play your first 3 turns. And then we'll just wrap it up with a summary. Let's go! First things first, what does the deck do? Well, this is our game plan basically. Green Gohan is a good stuff ramp deck. It ramps with Saiyans. There are also androids which ramp, but Saiyans are much better. We constantly ramp to get our big plays out as fast as possible, and our big plays are colossal. When we need to do so, we can send an energy to the drop to give ourselves a boost, either on our turn or on our opponent's turn once, but it's a really strong ability. And we do a lot of other crazy things that we will be checking out in this video. So let's start with the leader. Our leader is Green Gohan, yeah, from the Cell games. On the front side, he's a very standard leader. He draws when he attacks, that's always good, and he awakens at 4 lives or less. And then you just draw one and flip him over. This side really doesn't matter. Let's check out the awakened side. On the awakened side, our leader is amazing. So 20k, that's standard for leaders. We still draw an attack, that's also standard. Not for all leaders, but for most of them. And then we have this ability, Activate Battle once per turn. Now, because it's Activate Battle, we can use this on our opponent's turn as well. Place one of your energy in your drop. This card gets plus 15k for the battle. So either when we're attacking, we can make Gohan into a 35k leader, or when we are defending, let's say we're tapped out, we have no ways out, we have no extra cards that we can play, we're out of energy, we can just send one of our energies to the drop and become 35k, which is gonna get us out of most attacks, or like on pair with most boss monsters before we even start comboing. That's amazing. Alright, now that you know what the leader does, it's time to start the in-depth portion of the guide. Let's start with how to ramp. So the following cards ramp us for 1 energy. We have 5 of them. Trunks, Destructive Strength, Vegeta, Son Goku, and Turles. And as you can see, we have a very nice curve here. So 3 cost, 4 cost, 5 cost. Let's start with the 3 cost cards. Our first ramp in the game is gonna be with our 3 cost cards. It's always from the 3 cost cards. So we have a choice between Trunks and Destructive Strength. Destructive Strength is always better. 100% of the time, this card is better than Trunks. Trunks is garbage. We will be going through it immediately after this slide. What Destructive Strength does is that for free, it ramps us an energy in active mode, which means that on turn 3, we go to 4, we have 1 energy left in active mode, and then we can use it for, let's say, a tutor effect or a draw effect. We can play a 1 cost that draws a card, or a 1 cost that searches the top 5 for something. So basically we're playing 2 cards on turn 3 when we play Destructive Strength, because we ramp 1 in active mode and then we get a follow-up. But what about Trunks? You never ever play Trunks. Trunks sucks. This card is awful. It's less than garbage. It's just bad. Why? 2 main reasons. Trunks is a free cost, and free cost is super easy to remove. Everything in the game hits a free cost without KOing it. So Trunks is a blocker, and when he's KO'd, if your leader is Gohan, you add the top card of your deck into your energy. But there are so many ways of removing it without KOing it. If you're playing blue, I mean if your opponent is playing blue, they can just send it back to hand. They have at least 2 cards that can do that. If your opponent is playing yellow, they can switch it to rest mode. There are more cards than these 2 that can just switch it to rest mode. And then just attack anyway, he can block, he's not getting KO'd. And if you're playing against red, red just minuses it to 0 power. Just takes it away. And if a card drops to 0 power and goes to the drop, which it will, it doesn't count as KO'd. It's removed by a game mechanic, basically. So the ramp effect still doesn't work. So yeah, every color, every archetype has a way to deal with Trunks. Green is the only one that doesn't. Green needs to KO him, as far as I'm aware. But every other color just ignores this card completely, and congrats, you wasted free energy for nothing. Our second ramp comes on the next turn when we are on 5 energy. And we have either Turles or Goku. Both of them are gonna get us to 7 energy on turn 5. Keep the number 7 in mind, it's important. When it comes to our choices, Turles is 30k critical, and on play he ramps a card from the drop, so he's not bad. He's definitely not bad. He's a good card. If we need to pressure a bit, he's very good. Not Cell. Fat, oh my god, I almost said Fat Goku. Son Goku, the 5 cost with Fat Cell, is the card that we want to play. We must go into this card on turn 5. Why? Because, although you can't see due to small text, basically what this card says is when we play it, we ramp, and when an energy goes to our drop, we ramp again. So it basically removes our leader's biggest weakness. We don't lose energy when we use Gohan's Activate Battle, because we send it to the drop, Goku triggers and then just gets it back. Here is how it works in a bit of more detail. So 5 cost 25k. Auto, when this card is played or when a card is placed in your drop from your energy, add the top card of your deck to your energy in rest mode. So we ramp when we play and we ramp when we kill an energy. And Gohan's Activate Battle says place 1 of your energy into your drop and this card gets plus 15k for the battle. So this combination gives us a free plus 15 boost on both turns. Yeah, on both turns, assuming that Goku isn't removed. On our turn, we just play him, we ramp, swing with our leader, activate battle, 35, deal damage, and then we just ramp again. And on our opponent's turn, if they don't remove Goku, the moment they attack our leader, 35k, and then we ramp again. Worst case, let's say worst case, Goku gets removed immediately, we still got to ramp once from his own play effect, and we also got a free swing, I mean free 35k buff on our turn, because then Goku gets removed on the opponent's turn. So this card in Gohan is phenomenal. Now we need to segue a bit into Vegeta. Vegeta is the last piece of ramp that we haven't talked about. When you play him, his 4 costs 20k, and you add 1 card that costs 3 or more from your drop into your energy in rest mode. He also has the ability activate main once per turn, discard 1 from your hand, and then you KO a card cost 2 or less. So, what's the deal with Vegeta? Well, the deal is that in this deck, we usually skip having 4 energy. 4 and 6, these are the 2 costs that we skip. Because if we go first, on turn 3 we charge the 4th energy, and turn 4 we're immediately on 5. And then we ramp again, and then turn 5 we are on 7. So 4 and 6 are skipped, always. However, if we go second, we can do the Vegeta play. Because on turn 2, we get an energy marker immediately. It's basically 1 extra energy. You just use it and then it's gone. It's the coin from Hearthstone. So turn 2, you use the energy marker and you play Destructive Strength. You go into 4, you go into 3, and then turn 3, now you're on 4, and then you play Vegeta, and then turn 4 you go to 6. So Vegeta basically continues the ramp chain without losing tempo, in case that we go second. In this portion of the video we will be talking about payoffs. We have 3 big payoffs for ramping: androids, Broly is insane, and the green secret rare Son Gohan. We'll be going over each of them, starting with the androids. Starting with androids, there are 6 cost 40k double strike, so they deal 2 damage. On play, you choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards, cost 3 or less, and KO them. 0 combo power, so that's a bit meh, but they have amazing effects in return, so that's why we run them. They're boss monsters. Because we ramp to 6 very fast, we can play a few copies of this card. The removal part, let's talk about this, because this is an in-depth guide after all. The removal part is huge, it's massive. Here is why. Let's say that your opponent wants to play some blockers, right? The majority of blockers, all except 3 cards, cost 3 or less. So you're just guaranteed to play this and remove all blockers. All, 2 of them. So you tap 6, you play this guy, you remove 2 blockers, you swing for the leader 40k double. Yeah, unless your leader is playing yellow, because yellow has 2 blockers that can actually stop you. They are King Cold and Cooler, or they're playing the trash Android 16, which is probably not gonna happen because that card is just awful. There's no way that they can stop you from swinging into them. You can KO their blockers, no problem. So only yellow has a reliable way to block this card. Big Broly is amazing. He's just a big dumb beater. He attacks twice because when attacking he gets to switch himself to active mode once per turn, and when you play him he draws a card and then he KOs anything. Yeah, no cost restriction, no color restriction, nothing, just KO. KO anything. And this is why you play him, because Gohan Secret Rare. Yeah, Gohan Secret Rare costs 7 in this 50k. There is no other card in the entire game except for Broly that can KO a Gohan Secret Rare. So if you're playing green, you're running at least 2 copies of Broly, because if you run into another green deck and they play their Gohan before you get to do so, now you're stuck. You're facing a 7 cost 50k guy that you just can't remove. That's just gonna be swinging at you all the time. So Broly is your in-color answer to Gohan Secret Rare. So yeah, it's very important in green matchups. And worst case, he's still a very decent finisher. Removes any blocker, let's say 4 cost or more. Just 4 cost. And then he swings twice 45k. That's amazing. Last but not the least, let's talk about Gohan Secret Rare. Yeah, as if green wasn't good enough, here is the Gohan Secret Rare. 7 cost 50k. On play, you discard 1 from your hand, you choose all of your opponent's battle cards, cost 5 or less, and you KO them. And then this card can't attack. Basically, on play, delete your opponent's entire board. Unless they're playing green, they don't have a single card that costs more than 5. So yeah, that's a big effect, but because it's a 50k card and it costs 7, it dodges every single piece of removal in the game except for 8 cost Broly. Here's what I mean. So first off, cost 7. There's no card in the game except Broly that KOs a 7 cost battle card. None of them. I've listed a bunch of removal here. Nothing hits this thing. Everything is usually locked to cost 5 or less, or like 3 or less, but nothing goes above 5, let alone to 7. So once you play it, unless your opponent is green, they have 0 ways of clearing it. When it comes to the 50k part, well, the only color that can remove a card by minusing it to 0 is red. But red cannot do that without a heavy energy or card investment, Let's say red wants to remove it for cheap, right? Cheap. The best way to do it is to pay 1 for Mafuba, which gives it -15, makes it 35, and then pay 3 for time skip, which KOs 35 or less. So they just spent 4 energy to KO a card which you played on turn 5. And if you went first, they just kind of wasted all of their but 1 energy. And then you slap them with Broly next turn. Or something else that's big. So yeah, if they do that, they just kind of lose the majority of their energy. Beerus has a bit of a better time against the secret rare, because you can use Beerus to give it -10, you can do Mafuba to give it another -15, he's 25, and then you pay 1 for God Kamehameha and then just KO it. But those are the cheapest ways to get rid of this thing. So this thing is just brutal. One of the best cards in Green Saiyans is this Gohan Toor. This Gohan Toor is amazing. 1 energy 5k combo. When you play him, you look at top 5 and you add 1 Green Saiyan, cost 5 or less, to your hand. So its own play effect grabs us any Saiyan card as long as it costs 5 or less, and it can grab extra cards. So it can grab the Destructive Strength. It can also grab the other Broly extra card that buffs us. It can grab the green card that removes things. It can grab instant Kamehameha as well. Yeah, this card grabs a lot of things. For 1 energy, top 5, take anything that you need. And it gets us any ramp card that we need to just keep going. Here is the deck list, link is in the description below. This was built on Deck Planet, link is in the description below, guys. Deck Planet is the best website for checking out cards and deck building and checking out the decks that other people play. So this deck list is more of a skeleton. It's not a fully optimized build, but it will serve for the purposes of this video. So if you wish to know at least where to start, this is a good start. Let me show you the mulligan with this deck. So there are 2 variations. If we're going first and if we're going second. Now I'm gonna show you the high priority hits. If you go first, you can take Gohan because he's the best cost 1 play, turn 1 play. You grab the Destructive Strength for turn 3 ramp, and then you grab Cell. Worst case, you can grab Turles, but you want to get Cell. If you're going second, you grab Gohan, you grab Destructive Strength, and you grab Vegeta, because you will be using your energy marker to go into Destructive Strength on turn 2, and then turn 3 you're playing Vegeta. These are your high priority hits depending on whether you go first or second. Now we also have a couple of other good hits to take. Let's say if you get the secret rare, get the secret rare. Gigantic Meteor is an amazing card to keep. The super combo is also great. The super combo is also very good to have. And Turles, for example. If you see Turles, it's also a good card to keep. So you don't need these 4. But after you see your priority targets, keeping these cards is fine. In this part of the video, we're gonna be going over gameplay with this deck for the first 3 turns. I'm going to be showing you how to play the first 3 turns with this deck. Now that you know the basics, it's time to learn how to play. As always, we'll be using the provided deck list. We're assuming that you went first and that you have kept the shown mulligan. Alright, let's see what this deck can do. Turn 1, the usual setup. This is what our normal turn 1 looks like. So we start the turn, we charge, pay 1, we play the Gohan, look at top 5, we get a Saiyan, let's say that it's Turles. We bottom deck the rest and then we just pass the turn. With Gohan, you prioritize getting your turn 3 and turn 4 ramp pieces if you don't have them. Let's say that we didn't have Turles, so we grab that one. If we don't have Gohan, then we can just play the Goku that draws us by card, and that's it. So yeah, this is turn 1. Turn 2, our slowest, weakest turn. Turn 2 is very awkward with the deck, but here's an example. We start, we charge 1, attack, draw 1 because we draw an attack, and then we combo the Gohan away during this attack. Attack resolves, then we pay 2 to play Goku. Let's say we play this Goku. Goku attacks, he checks the drop, his permanent checks, is there a Gohan in the drop? Yes, you find Gohan, Gohan is there. Goku's permanent is online, it gives him a plus 10k boost if Gohan is in the drop, he's 25k, the attack resolves and then we just kinda pass the turn. Turn 3, it's time to ramp. Okay, let's say that in this scenario we still haven't awakened for some reason. Charge 1, draw 1. We have 5 energy now, we pay 5 to play the cell. And we ramp from the top of our deck in rest mode. So we ramp the Broly. Now it's time to awaken. We awaken, we draw 1. Attack, draw 1 again. And then we use activate battle to KO an energy. And let's say that we KO the energy that's in rest mode. So we KO it. Our Goku's auto triggers. We ramp from the top of the deck. We put like this Goku into energy. It just replaces the one that we KO'd. We still get plus 15k boost. Attack resolves. And then we just kinda attack with this 5 cost Goku and we pass the turn. Before we end the video, let's quickly jump into the summary. Gohan looks like the best green deck by far. By far the best green deck. You ramp very consistently and your payoffs are really worth the effort. Your turn 2 is a bit clunky if you went first. It's better if you went second. If you went first, it's just a bit weird, but it's manageable, so don't worry. The deck will not be cheap though. It will not be cheap to build as it runs multiple secret rares, the Gohan at least like 2 copies, and multiple SRs, super rares. You need to work optimally. So it will not be the cheapest deck to build, but that's what the digital client is for. That's it for the video! Let me know in the comments below, will you give Green Gohan a go? Are you hyped to play Green Gohan? Has this video helped you understand how to play this deck? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of your comments, I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And while you're still here, share the video, hit those like and subscribe buttons, help us get to 4k subs when I'm gonna give away a booster box. This has been Damien from The Lookout and I'll see all of you in the next video.